And the fascinating thing about the tracking is watching the coaches, I think, learn like how much the wide receivers were running in a practice versus somebody else. Like I think the first day where they saw it, they were like, our wide receivers are running 9 miles a day.
Holy shit.
Do you know that like they are running?
And it's usually at a full sprint too.
Yeah, they're running like 7-8 miles a day, where somebody else is at like 1.5 miles. So they go, maybe we could take it off on the wide receivers every once in a while. And then they start like trying to figure it out. We'll have them run like the back end of routes as opposed to the entire route. But then wide receivers, there's some that are so used to like working, they're like, no, I got to keep going or whatever. It is. Once those. And I was told they were Soviet satellites.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah, Soviet satellite on your back right here. You put it on there and it tracks the whole thing. Once those got introduced, the amount of intel and information was, for instance, I was the fastest guy on the field 2 days. One day actually running, the other day on a golf cart. You know what I mean?
How many players were out there when you were the fastest one running?
Everybody was out there, but it was a walkthrough. Yeah. It was a walkthrough, and I was on the other field sprinting downwind, downhill. Downwind. I got 20-some miles an hour, though.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Moving.
pretty good. I was running, and then I would go and I'd check the score or whatever, and I think the first one was like 19 miles an hour. I was like, nah, I got to go a little bit bigger than that. So then I start like selling out, and people hear me, like yelling on the side, right? So I forget who it was, probably D lineman, because D linemen, I think, were very intrigued by how I operate on a regular basis. I think they looked over and like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, don't worry about it. Then I go back, it says 20-something miles an hour. I'm like, fastest guy on the field. So then I walked, obviously, through all of the practice drills. Hey, don't worry about it, boys. 20-plus miles an hour speeding in some school zones. I'm a fast motherfucker on the field. And everybody obviously is mocking me because I have the energy to waste sprints. This is probably 2 weeks in. Everybody is dead tired. I'm over there trying to set the score record or whatever. Then the other day, like a week later, because it kind of worn off. I was no longer the fastest guy. So I got golf cart, took the governor off that thing. Mm-hmm. Same downgrade with the thing on. 25 miles an hour, fastest guy on the fucking field. It was unbelievable. It was absolutely. Hasselbeck told the story while we were calling a game live on air because of how ridiculous it was to the entire team because these things were getting projected. Like people knew how long people were running, what the high speed was, what the non-high speed was and everything. And the day I got 25 miles an hour, they left my score off of there, So I was like, what did I run?
What's going on here?
What did I run? And they were like, there's no way you ran 25 miles an hour. I was like, what did the Soviet thing say? Tell me what it said.
They could pull up the film. They could easily pull up the film and show that to the whole team of you in the golf cart.
Fucking taking a couple passes, too.
It would be awesome because it'd be from up in the tower, and then you just see you, like, off in the distance. You couldn't really zoom. Just you, like, looking around, like, okay, yep, all right. And then seeing you climb in and go back and forth.
Actually, think about me lifting the seat, too. Moving like the governor. By the way, classic kid that knows how to take the governor off a golf cart. There was a couple skills that I had to get to that point that I was at. But my Soviet device was taken from me that day. I never got another one. Never got another one. It was a damn shame, It was damn.
I wish, I think everybody there was probably, when they saw you huffing and puffing and running these sprints while they're in the middle of a walkthrough after 2 weeks of camp and banging on each other, I bet the majority of the team was like, man, I hope he rips his hamstring right off the bone.
No, I think I was well liked. I think I was well liked.
Come back from that. No, of course you're well. Of course you're well liked. I'm saying put yourself in those guys' mind frames in that moment, and they're hearing you next to them and all your extra energy. I'm just saying, in that moment, they don't truly want that, but they wouldn't be that upset.
Oh, yeah. And then me coming over and talking about being the fastest is just
because they know that. They knew. They when they felt you running, they hear you grunting like, oh, God. Their coach is killing them because they took a misstep in their walkthrough, and they know whenever you do eventually get the score you want, you're going to walk through and chirp everybody.
In the cafeteria? Who goes first, the fastest? Or what are we? I honestly believe that if you're a specialist, training camp is it's a big duty for you to just some sort of faux energy because everybody is dead. Everybody. It is terrible. I don't know how you got, now listen, not the hardest job on earth. There's other jobs that are much more important and much more serious. I get it. But in NFL training camp, why you see so many guys show up at training camp, go, fuck it, I ain't doing this, and retiring, is because just that constant, especially with like your livelihood on the line, the pressure and everything, it's just like, I don't
and
know.
there's so much install. Even if you're 3, 4, 5 years in, like, you always have new coaches coming and different schemes. But even if you've been this scheme a few years, like each day they keep putting more and more volume in. Like you'll have a meeting at 9 o'clock at night, it'll go till 10, and they'll install what they're going to put in the next day, what you're going to practice in the morning. So you're like, oh man, my first time I can even walk and just think, like, I'm not trying to get to a practice or a meeting. I got to make sure I get back to my room and figure out exactly what I'm doing, because when I show up, we're going to have pads on and we're going to be doing what we just talked about.
Yeah, but also you got to get rehab in the night before. And if you don't get rehab in, you're cheating yourself, you're getting fined, you're cheating the team. Hey, you cheat yourself, you cheat the team, you're getting fined for that. So that 9 to 10 o'clock install goes to 10:15, 10:30 if you're getting ice or bags or whatever. Then you get back to your room, 10:45. Want to say hello to somebody maybe.
Sure.
Hey, there's 11 o'clock. Oh, now you have to learn what you're going to do at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And if you don't, by the way, you are going to get exposed. It is going to be violent, and it is going to be bad out there. That's why, when I was either boozing at night, or smoking or whatever,
sure,
I always try to come in and lift the spirits of everyone. What are you guys doing? You learn them? Oh, you guys got one-on-ones, 8 a.m. tomorrow? Oh, man, all right. Hey, you're going to fucking kill it tomorrow, dude. Get out of my fucking room, Pat. All right. I'll be out there, though, tomorrow. I'll cheer you on, man. I will. I didn't always have, the best days motivating people, but I felt like, 8 to 9 out of 10, I'd get them going a little bit. But
I think it's beneficial. Hey, if I was a head coach, I'd want to bring you in to be that guy. As annoying as it might be, like, I think it's needed.
It's not annoying, okay? There's a little bit of there's people that probably do act the way I act that is annoying, and I understand that. There has been previous concerns from teammates of mine that I was potentially going to act like somebody they had experience in the past. I had to. DeQuell Jackson is the perfect. DeQuell Jackson is the perfect example of everything that I am as a teammate. The miserable old Cleveland Brown linebacker, had the old school like Kevin Green type helmet, probably 75 concussions at his position. He joins our team, smoking cigars, just old miserable vet basically. Came into our team though, was an instant leader, instant guy. His locker was right next to mine. Literally, I think it was 2 down. One time, like 6:30 a.m., maybe day one, I'm like, hey, here we go, DeQuell, huh? Best fucking day of all time today or whatever. Yeah, all right. He gives me a fist bump and he leaves. Next morning, guess what? Same goddamn. Hey, DeQuell, I didn't think we were going to be able to do it. But today, they're saying, better than fucking yesterday. So I'm like, let's go, DeQuell, huh? Let's go. So then I think it was like day 3 where I came in and he was looking down. And I think I gave him like a little pop on the shoulder or something, like, yeah, huh? How we feeling? He was, is this every fucking day? That's what he said to me. Is this every fucking day? Every day, DeQuell. I'm going to be right here, pal. He's like, all right, well, fucking A, all right. And we dapped each other up, and ever since then, we've been good friends. But that is the epitome of, I think, whenever you just kick a ball, you should also potentially add some other things to the locker room. Mine was the ability to bury anybody in cornhole and hopefully lighten the mood every once in a while. There were some bad days, though, where I was not maybe necessarily the greatest teammate out there, but I tried my best. I think that's big for training camp. Training camp stinks. We have to remember that whenever we're getting quotes from anybody during training camp, things that are said. Training camp stinks, but it's very, very vital. I hope the fucking Colts can put a team together.